Hello, everyone, and welcome to another inspiring episode of the Dubai Tech Talks podcast series, Inspiring Stories of Success. This is the space where we celebrate extraordinary journeys of innovation, resilience, and achievement from leaders and visionaries who are shaping the future of technology and entrepreneurship. In today's episode, we are thrilled to introduce our entrepreneur of the day, a trailblazer whose story will inspire, motivate, and spark new ideas for anyone on their own path to success. So, grab your headphones and get ready for an engaging conversation filled with valuable insights, powerful lessons, and a glimpse into the mindset of a true innovator. Let's dive in.
We are proud to feature two powerhouse women leaders who are shaping the future of tech and talent. Prabitha Ganesh, Director of Engineering at Nutalix, and Serena De Silva, Global HR Leader and co-founder of IBIC. With decades of experience across Fortune 500 companies and high-growth startups, Prabitha and Serena have led groundbreaking initiatives in engineering and human resource. Their work spans from driving digital innovations to build diverse, high-performing teams across the globe. Together at IBIC, they are creating a platform that builds a gap between technology and inclusive career growth, especially for women in tech and HR. This episode dives into their inspiring journeys, learn lessons in the leadership, and their shared vision of empowering and next generation of professionals through mentorship, community, and digital empowerment. Serena, can you tell us a bit about IBIC.ai and its mission in the talent development space?
So IBIC believes, we all of us believe at IBIC that every girl must be given an opportunity to achieve her dreams, whatever she's aspiring to in her personal and her professional journeys. So our aim at IBIC is to help or guide and provide support to this young girl, especially in the colleges when they are dreaming about a career in the corporate life or maybe entrepreneurship or whatever she is aspiring towards, helping and nurturing them, giving them all the right skills to develop themselves, giving them the confidence, the boosting their self morale, guiding them in the available career opportunities that are available right now in the entire economy, which is waiting for the women labor force, and where we can contribute, and these young girls can come and also contribute towards their own professional journeys and towards the nation's economy.
Nice initiative. Actually, these initiatives has to be given a good opportunity for a young woman, like young ladies and women who are coming up in life. Hi, Prabitha. Welcome to the podcast about IBIC. What is the main focus on IBIC?
I think for me, the main focus when we started looking at this, you know, the first thing is it is easier to get my journey, and I'm sure you can empathize with this. As much as it's easier to get into the workforce, it is so hard to sustain and grow. The percentage, the acceleration that we have in a job is so hard. Every room I go, because of the fact that I'm on the infrastructure side, and I with awareness on the data centers, everything, I swear, I'm literally the unicorn in the room. And every time a unicorn comes, I have to be so brilliant about my thought process. I mean, see my colleagues, just relaxing. I have to go in there and say something so brilliant just justifies my presence in the room. Okay, which is amazing because the opportunity is given. But every single time I go there, I have to be this brilliant unicorn, and that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress. I mean, every time I have to think about what is the 120% that can give. So IBSC started with the intention, we do want to take women into the workforce, but what we want to even provide them right at the early stage is giving them that confidence, giving them that support system. Because if I wish I had a mentor, I wish I had a sponsor really earlier on in my life. I wish I knew about these things earlier on in my life. So my acceleration, my sustainability, my happiness at work would have been better. Because once you have that support system, once you have that confidence built out, I think that's where the core of our journey will be. And that was the initial intention when we started looking at IBIC was, how do you provide this emotional support? As part of this, there is other aspects that we started looking at it. One aspect is the emotional support. The other aspect is giving them, they think they know what they want. And this is true of just not, this is true around the globe. What they learn from the institutions, education institutions, does not necessarily map into what the real life expectations are from workforce. And once you bridge that, you lay a foundation of technical competency, you know. And on top of that, you round it with emotional aspect of confidence, self-confidence. It just, as soon as they step through that door, they know, their value, which is great. And also when we started looking at IBIC, it wasn't not so much about the workforce itself. For me, my intention was, doesn't matter where you go, once you have that confidence, doesn't matter what life throws at you, you know your self-worth, you're going to be resilient about it. And that was intention. Then we pivoted into looking at where we can give the maximum impact, and then we went to the colleges.
So you have built a diverse, high-performing teams and taken on leadership roles in HR. What inspired you to step into leadership, and how did you see the role of women evolving in HR and corporate world?
So for me, when I began my HR career 25 years ago, I think I did not have the vision of becoming an HR leader. It was just a natural progression, I can say, for what I have been doing over the past 25 years. So, and the inspiration was all around me, starting right at home with the women in my family, right? Growing up, I have observed their trajectories from being homemakers to successful leaders in the social arena. And they have never stopped. Even in now, in their 60s and 70s, they are still championing the, social upliftment and empowerment. I have some of my aunts who are doing all of this. And so the inspiration was there all along. And there was, of course, a lot of impetus given to me from my managers along my career, both men and women. I've had excellent women and men managers, leaders who have helped me, traverse that path of leadership. And I think today we as women have a lot to contribute towards the economy and the society as a whole. See, in HR and the corporate world, there are a lot of leaders, but many times, oftentimes, we try to imitate the masculine nature of leadership. But today we have an opportunity as the women leadership is evolving to bring out our feminine and empathetic leadership quality that is stronger than ever. I think that is what we are working towards, to be a true, authentic, feminine leader in any space that we are given.
So really amazing that feminine and empathetic leadership, So this is something new I heard from some leader, that one woman leader who says it. I really agree with that. You have led groundbreaking tech initiatives and excelled in leadership roles. What inspired you to take on leadership positions, and how do you think your journey reflects the evolving role of women in tech? Because there are very few women leaders, and that too on tech.
Leadership has been natural for me. I think um, I wouldn't call it a sense of needing a sense of control. For me, it has been mostly, as much as I would like to have the consensus, somebody has to step in and make the hard decision. And that has always been my forte, even when I was young. Okay. And the second aspect of it is I love people. I'm always curious. I love talking to people to learn, what is outside the box. So leadership has been natural, gravitating towards, people has been the other aspect of it. Technology, I would say technology is not something that I grew up with, but technology was something that has helped me to make my life easier. And with those three combination, once I learned the secret of technology, For me, those three combinations were like, it was just a natural progression. Okay. So that's why I love leadership. I mean, there are ups and downs, but if you ask me, my strength actually comes out when I take on this leadership persona. You know, in terms of women progression, no more are women participants in the technology arena. We are the leaders. We are stepping up. And for me is it's not so much, the more I look at it, right? We are taking on opportunity, not waiting for an invitation. You know, the minute we see the opportunity, I'm looking at you, right? You are a leader. I'm looking at this and going like, somebody in Dubai setting this up, reaching out, doing an outreach for folks around the globe. This is an opportunity that you have stepped in naturally. Okay. So we are no longer participants. I no longer consider us as waiting for an invitation to the table. We see the opportunity, we walk in there in spite of all the uh, blocks that we can have on the way. I think we are getting to a point where we are realizing our complete potential.
Amazing. Yeah, you're right. But I think the amount of women, the percentage of women who are coming up is also not enough, compared to the men who comes out. You see, you can also see a boardroom. How many women are there?
Yes.
So I wish one day the boardrooms are full of women leaders, and mostly in tech. And women often face barriers in leadership and career progression. Can you share a defining moment where another woman's support made a difference in your career? And what advice would you give to women striving to break into leadership roles in HR and tech?
So, in my career, I mean, there have been a lot of ups and downs. I can tell you that. To be honest, I think it was a struggle every time, because and that struggle or those challenges don't just come from, we say that it's coming from outside. It is coming from within as well, because that struggle of, self doubt, that imposter syndrome that you have, whether I am good enough for this particular role, can I do it, can I not do it. So I think those are the challenges that we need to overcome within ourselves first. Okay, and then we talk about the outside. Yes, women have a defining moment, if I can say, is, there was a moment where I was struggling with a particular manager, okay, my boss. And I think all of us go through this particular phase, right, where you want to do so much and you have so much enthusiasm, and then your manager says, cool down, that's not required, or puts down your spirits, or your manager yourself feels that you are a threat, or making them insecure. So that happens. It's part of the whole corporate life. But that was a moment in my career where these things were going on for quite some time, and I was struggling. I mean, am I cut out for this? Am I doing this right? And that is the time I had a very good colleague of mine. She was the most positive force around me. So I can say that we women are our own champions. Okay, so when you see another woman uh, struggling, it is your hand that should reach out, and that's what happened with me. She reached out her hand and she said, no, I have seen you better, and you have been better, and you can do better. And that's, I think, a defining moment I always keep in mind, because the moment one lets go of those moments is where you are, filled with false pride, I would say. But these moments keep you humble and say, yes, I have gone through that, and I know how I can do better when such similar challenges come my way, and how I can help others when these moments happen. And I think for us, the career progression, or in the corporate or the HR field, is, like I already said, be yourself. Be Try to be the best version of yourself, no matter what challenges within and outside happen. And these are common. I mean, I think these challenges, what we feel are unique to us may be experienced by so many other girls around you, the women around you. And that's what we have also observed when we are doing our sessions with our IBIC mentees. They are going through the similar challenges. And today we are able to help them because we have traveled that road. All our mentors, our women experts, our leaders who have gone through that struggle, that journey, and they are able to empathize with these girls and give them the best. So I think one mantra that I have learned and I have always kept throughout my career is learn, unlearn, and relearn. Because it's a constant learning, the continuous journey of learning, because I am learning still new things today, like being a entrepreneur, like being with IBIC, founding IBIC, helping it grow and helping it see expand or scale up is something that I'm learning. It's a new thing, it's a new journey. Though I have had 25 years of my HR career, but this is again a different learning. So I have to also unlearn some of the things that I've learned and then relearn new things. So I think this is the mantra that every woman needs to keep is it's not done, it's not finished, you are still learning.
Great, great, amazing insights shared, like giving, championing women and giving helping hand, and what you said, unlearn and learn. And there are amazing things which would help other women to come up in life. And also, like, as you mentioned earlier, most of the women think that they have to be 100% perfect, and no one is
Yeah,
100% perfect. So this has to be accepted, like with
correct.
women, then I think they can come up in life. And I would like to ask, the intersection of technology and talent management plays a critical role in shaping the future workforce for women. From your experience, how can organizations better integrate technology to support diversity and career growth for women in tech?
I think we are at a peak of what I think from where we have progressed. You know, technology, it has its cons, but the big pro of it is it has enabled us to do an outreach for talent that we have never dreamt of. Okay. And this is where companies have, or individuals, going back to your earlier point about, the lesser amount of women compared to men. One aspect that I have found is, which is something that we sort of want to focus with IBIC, one aspect of what we want to focus with IBIC is that network aspect of it. And that's one of the excitement that I'm talking to you too, right? The outreach, the awareness, building the awareness of the potential, which technology has enabled us to connect with. Now there needs to be a focused intention from individuals who make up the company to think about the raw talent that's out there. You know, this outreach is going to, it has started. Okay, it has started. I mean, the best part of technology is the fact that we are more connected. There's more awareness. Now we have to maximize on it. And when I say we, this stems from the individuals. And this is where the difference between the men in the C-suite and the women in the C-suite happens, and which is what we are addressing. Is I think what happens is men spend time in networking, the connections. Unfortunately, I think for women, there are other things that sort of take priority, the family, the other commitments that we have, that we sort of deprioritize the networking aspect of it. But with technology, the connection is even possible. We have to be more intentional about our connections. That's one way we build the awareness. And this is where we lend a hand to grab another woman to the table. Okay. We have not been really focused on it, but now this is a great place to do it.
Amazing. Really, I do agree. So networking opportunities are there, but for women, it is a little tougher job. But I do take opportunities and I do travel. And I see nowadays like there are a lot of women who come for networking events here in Dubai, and See, networking is networking. So I think that plays a vital role. All the best for IBIC. So I
Thank
believe I
you.
can. So thank you for your time
Thank,
and let's keep in touch.
thank you. Thank you, Sridevi, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Dubai Tech Talks Entrepreneur Series. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights from today's conversation. Don't forget to share this podcast with your network and follow us for more stories of innovation, determination, and success. Until next time, keep dreaming big and stay inspired.